So as a director, your main job is really guiding and helping the other people in the team. For example, Chris wrote an amazing script from the idea as we came up with initially. But there was a small few changes that I wanted, and with a bit of guidance, Chris was able to make those changes perfectly.
For the script, I worked on Celtics with direction and edits from Ryan on how he wanted our story scripted. We went for a typical action film script with an even blend of action, fighting scenes and acting. We also did our best not to follow character stereotypes. For instance, we wanted to explore the unlikely companionship between an ex-thug and a kid who was going down the same path that he once did.
So as producer, I suppose my role was just making sure the movie runs on time and making sure everything happens, basically. We got great actors. We were very lucky to get Craig and TJ and Tim. They all turned up on the day knowing their lines and had ideas for the characters, which made it easier for me as a director to work with them and run the scenes.
Filming Animus was really a key factor, you know, in making it. I mean, we had to get every shot that we needed. With Ryan's lighting, we were able to create a really nice aesthetic for our film. For Animus, we really wanted a lot of our scenes, a lot of our acting scenes to have really long, tense shots and a lot of facial expressions to convey the actors' emotions. And this process was really utilised to make the audience care more about the characters and their stories. And the fighting was really a matter of using the right shots, which I believe we did, and this created really intense and exciting action scenes.
So in my job as a lighting director, I really wanted the movie to be kind of dark and mysterious in a kind of way. I took my inspiration from the movie John Wick. John Wick has very colourful lighting, but it's also very dark and dramatic. So I wanted my scenes to have a similar feel. To do that, we did some test shots in a car park. It took a while, but we kind of got the look we wanted. And afterwards we were able to look back at what we had and kind of refine the look a small bit more. Post-production is a very big part of the movie, and I was able to work with the guys on their individual roles to just enhance the movie and make it look and sound a bit better.
Colouring this film was really a job in and of itself, as was learning DaVinci, the industry standard software. And thanks to Ryan's help and direction, this job was made much less difficult, and we have a look for our film that we're both very happy with.
So Cormac is a great sound engineer. He knows how to do sound effects and music, so that was great and very easy for me to work with.
I suppose my main job on set would have been dialogue recording. So that would have been using my H4 Zoom and my Rode boom mic. I suppose for sound development on the Foley side of things was, I suppose, creating like realistic sounding punches through acting out some of them as well, slapping the hand, using thuds, different materials like I suppose even like slapping your thigh to get a more hollow kind of sound, or clothes rustling. We did a bit of recording of clothes moving and stuff like that.
One of my smaller but more enjoyable roles was doing the post-production effects work. So for a lot of the scenes on the day, we obviously couldn't get the effects, like there's gunshots, blood spatters. We could have done it, but because we were working in locations that we didn't really have money to pay for, we had to be very careful. So in a few scenes I added blood splatters for gunshots at the end of the movie. We also added TV screens and photos to photo frames, just to make the movie a bit more realistic and to immerse the audience more in the world.
Creating the musical compositions, I used Pro Tools 11 and I got the Contact 5 plug-in with Reactor, and it's just helped like the musical side of it. It sounds a lot more realistic, so there's a pulsing bass that kind of is dominant throughout most scores. The final mix, I think, like dialogue would be the most important aspect of it, because that's what carries the narrative and tells the story. And then I think that, I suppose, like as music being the soundscape to our lives, I think we tie everything together with music, and kind of it lays down the theme of the whole movie. It sets the tone, it sets the atmosphere and tension and suspense, and it enhances the drama of it as well. Like from our initial idea to the final phase that we're at the moment, I think like we created something that far exceeded our expectations, and I think we're really lucky with the talent that we got between our own unique skills that we have together and the actors that were vital to the film itself. And I think like when we walk away from our degree, I think it's something that we'll say, yeah, that's a project I can stand over and say I did pretty good work for my first endeavour, I suppose, in a big project like that.